When you first build a website, it's easy to get lost in the metrics and not to be really clear on one, what's most important, and two, how do you move the needle? How do you actually change or grow the website? So there are some metrics that I frequently talk about. Now, I have open one of my websites here, and I have, as of today, it's the number 2 local website in Las Vegas for traffic and the number 1 website for search engine rankings. Now, I'm just a hair away from taking that number 1 spot on traffic as well. I've been building websites for years, and I've been ranking on the search engines for years for multiple businesses on multiple platforms. And so I really understand what moves the needle and what ranks well on the search engines. And I really stay on top of the algorithms and the changes, but mostly I focus on the consumer. And because I'm so focused on how do I add value to my customer, that in turn I'm rewarded on the search engines because I'm my page is the most relevant for that search query. And so this is something that I do every day, and I drive a lot of business to my real estate website through this. So let me show you some of the metrics that are important to, and then what you should not be getting caught up in, which I keep seeing a lot of you guys talking about. Now, I have frequently talked about these 3 numbers, okay? And I'm in my tool SEMrush here. So if you have SEMrush, this is kind of what I'm talking about. SEMrush monitors organic traffic, desktop traffic, mobile traffic. And they're different, by the way, in case you didn't know that, desktop and mobile. It monitors your search engine rankings on both desktop and mobile separately, not together. It measures your organic traffic versus your pay-per-click traffic. So if you don't understand necessarily what you're looking at, you're going to get kind of lost in these numbers and potentially be putting too much weight on something that's not even important, okay? The first one in this metric is keywords, okay? So I will float anywhere between 15,000 and 25,000 keywords. And I don't worry about that at all. I want to know that my website is growing in the important keywords, and I want to know that I'm getting traffic for important keywords, and I want to be able to raise up those important keywords. What I don't care about is how many keywords rank on page 10 of Google. So what? It makes no difference. That this 19,500, it's actually tracking the top 10 pages of Google. How many keywords do you have in the top 10 pages of Google? Or how many keywords do you have in the top 100 pages of Google? Now, if you're ranking on page 7, 8, 9, or 10, you're not, I mean, gosh, if you're ranking on 4 and beyond, you're not seeing any benefit from that anyway, okay? You might want to look at it only as a general measure to see if you're getting more into that top 100 or less in the top 100, but it's nothing ever to be concerned about or worried about or even overly excited about if you suddenly have more, okay? This is your big number right here. How much traffic are you getting from those keywords, okay? So you want to be watching for growth on your traffic number, more importantly than this total keywords. I am going to show you where to look for important keywords in just a minute. And then your traffic cost. So this would be if I were to pay for the traffic I'm earning organically. So if I were to go in and do pay-per-click on Google AdWords and bid on those same keywords, how much would I be spending a month? In my case, I'd be spending $21,000 a month. That's pretty huge. Well, the higher that number goes, that indicates the more valuable your website is. Okay. Now, that doesn't always mean those keywords are making you money. Sometimes you might be generating a whole lot of traffic that has a high dollar value, but those keywords aren't turning into any kind of conversions. And that's a whole nother call and conversation. But these are the 2 numbers that I watch out for the most. Now, let's go back to keywords for a second so that you can understand what is important. If you don't have to pay attention to this number, what number is it that you're actually paying attention to? Okay. So what you want to do, there's a couple ways to do this. First thing, let me show you if you are dropping in and out of the 100 and you want to see what keywords are dropping in and out. After you go to this page, which is your total list of keywords, go up here to position changes. This is not a bad idea to keep a pulse on because this is something you can control. If you see keywords moving into the top 100, there's things you can do to push them up to make sure they stay there. If you see keywords dropping out of the top 100, you can go back and try to rescue them. Although I don't think that's the best use of time until you're already at a level like where I am, where you've already really focused on pushing all of your top 20 up. And this is just kind of a daily metric that you do. So I'll check the pulse on this daily. I won't spend a ton of time on it, but let me give you an example, okay? So right here at the last post here on April 10th, which was yesterday, it says that I gained 166 new keywords and I lost 144. Now, I'm not concerned about this in any way, shape, or form because most of these are going to be keywords. If they were lost, they were only on page 10 anyway. Page 7 to 10, or if they're gained, they're only on page 7 to 10. So none of these are going to be significant in either direction, but let me show you what I can do with them. So let's take a look at this new one. Okay, so I'm going to click on the 166 new. Now you're going to see the same keywords moving in and out all the time until they get some stability, because what's happening is Google's discovering them, putting them in the index, giving them a ranking position, and then testing to see how they perform. Okay, to see if anybody ever finds them. So take a look at something important here. What I do, this is my policy, I sort this by volume. So I'm going to click volume and I'm going to sort this highest to lowest. Okay, this is the search volume for a keyword phrase. How many times a month is that keyword being searched? Okay. Now, you would assume that the highest volume keywords are the ones you should work the most on. Maybe, maybe not. Let me give you an example. Clark County Assessor, it entered at position number 40. That means I'm on the bottom of page 4. And this is an average position, everything depending on location and mobile device and desktop and browsers and all that information. Personalized search is going to change that, but the average is bottom of page 4, so it could be top of page 5. So how much effort and energy do I want to spend moving up that keyword phrase, Clark County Assessor? Well, let me tell you a couple things. I would go look at the competition. I would go over here to the SEO content template, which I have another video on, and I would run a test to see what it would take me to rank for Clark County Assessor. I also can just click this little button here, see on all the way over to the right column, see where it says SERP, Search Engine Results Page. If I open that, it'll show me a snapshot of who was ranking for Clark County Assessor when it did this last result, where it checked the ranking. So number 1 is going to be Clark County Assessor, of course. Number 2 is Clark County Assessor. Number 3 is Clark County Assessor. Number 4, Clark County, Washington instead of Nevada, right? Clark County, Illinois. Okay, the odds that I'm going to take one of those top spots for Clark County Assessor are very slim. Okay, now that never means it's impossible. It means it's going to be challenging. So then I have to ask myself, if I were to rank for that term, Clark County Assessor, is that going to bring me any business? And my answer is probably not. So I would pass on that one. So I never care about that one again. If it's moving in or out of that top 100, doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. Okay. And then next one, houses for rent in Las Vegas, premiered at 86. Well, that makes sense because I did not have rentals on my website. A few weeks ago, I started adding rentals on the website, really purely as a traffic generator, just to get those people looking at houses on my website so that I can take that number 1 spot. So it's not even as much about rental leads as much as it is traffic, because it's a good traffic generator. So if I see that I entered at 86, I might say to myself, well, if I want to take that number 1 spot for traffic, I should go really try to take that houses for rent in Las Vegas position. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go look at that. I'm going to go look at the competition. All right, let's look at that. Houses for rent in Las Vegas. Houses for rent in Las Vegas. I would typically do an incognito window or a private window that's not tracking my personalization results. But if I do that, you guys won't be able to see it on this screen share. So we'll just look at it normally. So there's the ads. Houses for rent, Zillow, Trulia, rent.com, realtor.com, homes.com, HotPads, Zumper, Craigslist, Robinson Property Manager. Okay, so what I can see here based on my quick glance is I could land on page 1 organically. How do I know that? Because there's locals on here. It's not just all Zillow. But the best position I'm probably going to be able to take is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 or 6, position 5 or 6, okay? So if I felt like houses for rent in Las Vegas is going to be a profitable lead generator for me, and I want those type of leads, I would go after this one. But I don't, because there again, unless I'm just using this as a traffic metric, it's kind of going to be a pain for me to get a bunch of rental leads. So I would skip that one. Number 3, best shows in Las Vegas, position number 31. So I'm on the top of page 4 or bottom of page 3, 14,800 searches. This one I might do a little bit with. And let me tell you why. It's hyper-local. I do love the hyper-local stuff. It generates interest from people that are coming in from out of town. It'll boost traffic. So if I'm after a hyper-local piece that I just really want to rank higher so that I can get more of that visiting to Las Vegas traffic and then try to capture them with calls to action and IDX and whatnot, this one wouldn't be too hard for me to move. I think I could get this one to page 2 at least. And if I don't feel like I can at least get it to page 2, I'm not touching it. Okay. So let's go look at that one. Best shows in Las Vegas. I know exactly how to move this one up too. Pretty simply if I wanted to. And I kind of like this one. I might. Let's see. So I love that featured snippet. That makes me a little jealous. People also ask button. I could probably get in there. Top 3. Okay, let's see. TripAdvisor, Thrillist, Vegas.com. Yeah, you know what? I think I could get on page 1. There's locals on. There's some smaller websites on here that do a lot of things to do in Las Vegas that are ranking well. And my website also does well for things to do in Las Vegas. It could do better just by putting out some more content. So could I move that one up? Yes. Okay, you guys getting the idea? If it doesn't have any search volume, and it doesn't benefit you, then you don't worry about it. These things are going to move in and out of that top 100 all the time. Now, here's one I would care about at a glance, 89014 zip code. I'm obsessed with zip codes right now. That's my focus is zip codes. So any one of these that has a zip code, I'm going to pay attention to those. All right, cool. I'm finally in the top 100 now for 89014 zip codes. What can I go do now? What content can I go create to push that one up? And what I'll do is I'll go do a real estate market report. I'll go add some more content to that page. I'll go post some recent sales in 89104 as a blog post and drive it back there, or new developments or new construction or new places to work in 89014. And I'll do blog posts and I'll drive all that traffic back to this parent page, and then I'll start pushing it up. So you got to know what to look for and what not to look for. Now, there's a really cool component here before I let you go. If you go down here to this filter, go to advanced filters. Okay, now let me go back to my total positions. All right, I'm going to go back to total positions. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say advanced filters include position less than 20. So what I'm looking for is only keywords that rank in my top 20, top 2 pages of Google. Guys, these are what matter right here. What ranks in your top 2 pages of Google? Because if you can move those up 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions, 5 positions, if you can move keywords from page 2 to page 1, they will change your world, okay? I mean, almost overnight, one of my, right here, Las Vegas real estate, I was not even ranking for that term. It has 12,100 searches, and I entered, all of a sudden I'm on page 1, okay? Look at what it did. It's now 2% of all of my traffic from those 20,000 keywords. That's massive. That's going to, as it grows to position, if it goes to 7, if it goes to position 6, position 5, that could become up here, like zip codes, 10 to 20% of my traffic ranking, okay? So I pay attention to these types of things. Now, what you see here is where it ranks today. And remember, these are averages. And then in the position next to it, where it was the last time that the keyword check was done. And it tells you right here, last update, 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 1 day ago, 6 hours ago, okay? So it was in position 6, it's still in position 6. Las Vegas Strip Map was in position 15, I've moved it up now to 14. You know what happens when that thing hits page 1? It's going to be massive because it's a 74,000 search keyword phrase. Okay, it's going to be huge. Now, the fact that the cost per click isn't very high means that there's not a lot of people making money on that phrase. So that's also something to consider. I had a purpose. My purpose for that zip code thing was twofold. One, I wanted to get the traffic from it because what I could see is my top competition was ranking high for those keywords around zip codes, and they were bringing in a lot of traffic. So in order for me to beat them on traffic, I got to beat them on zip codes. Easy. Easy to, not easy to do, easy to see that that's what I needed to do. Okay. And the other reason why is because people moving to Vegas are constantly searching zip codes and they want to know about the area and whatever, but it's not a super profitable thing. People don't have things to directly sell related to that. There's mostly maps. People are Googling what's the zip code in Desert Shores because they want to send a letter, so it's not necessarily the most profitable, but you want to bet that this one won't be Las Vegas real estate, right? Now, Las Vegas real estate agent doesn't have that many searches. But Las Vegas real estate as a whole, 12,100 with a lot of competition. So I'm very, very excited about that. Okay. So I could do some work now to make sure that that page moves up for the keyword phrase Las Vegas real estate. Some on-page optimization, some backlinks, some internal linking strategy. Anywhere I use the word phrase Las Vegas real estate, making sure that it's pointing to the homepage where this one ranks. So there's a lot I can do, and I do have another lesson all about how to raise up. I have a couple lessons on how to raise pages that are ranking for these keywords. Okay, so this is it right here. Now here's your number: 18,780 of my keywords are ranking in the top 20. Hold on, can that be right? Let me see 10. That seems like too much. Hold on. Let me see if that number moves. Oh my gosh, it's correct. I'm very impressed by myself at this moment. Okay, so I have 18,782 keywords ranking in the top 20. So that would be the metric I would start measuring. If I set out a goal and said, okay, all I care about is not that top 100 keyword. In fact, I wish they would give us the ability to change that in our own settings. What if all I care about is what I rank in the top 20 or rank in the top 10? And I only pay attention to those position changes. Those are what matter. You never want to drop in or out of page 1 of Google, right? So if I said top 10, these are going to be my most important no matter what happens. I don't want to drop out of the top 10, and I want to see what's moving into the top 10. This is going to be my number right here. And so 14,577 is my number. That's the number I care about. I want to know how many keywords I have that rank on page in the top 10. And then I can export this too and monitor time over time, or I could throw these into the keyword tracker. I could check if they have featured rich snippets. There's all kinds of things now I want to do once I know where I rank in the top 10. So what I'm trying to do here with this video in summary is explain to you what metrics are important, what metrics you want to pay attention to, and don't get caught up in this. That's not the right number. That number doesn't really, it matters in a small scheme of things, but it's not the right number to pay attention to. I want to see you pay attention to traffic costs, which is the value of your traffic, and right here, these top 10, top 20 keywords. And only pay attention to them if you're going to do something with them. You're going to monitor, you're going to move them, you're going to add content, you're going to do backlinks, you're going to do on-page SEO, you're going to create content around the main page. Those are the things you need to pay attention to, okay? Hope this is helpful today. Talk to you guys on the next one.